Thank you, Simon, and thank you to Justin, to Ryan, and to Nuri for inviting DNV to kick off today's event. I'll move to the next slide. So my name is Faiz. I'm the head of digital energy at DNV, and absolutely delighted to be joined here today by my colleague Daniel Gibson, senior consultant at DNV. And we're here to present our brand new report, launched yesterday, Connected Digital Twins Insight, Rising to the Challenge across the UK energy sector and beyond. Extremely brief introduction to DNV. We are a global assurance and risk management company that was founded 160 years ago. We actually celebrate our 160th anniversary this very Friday, which is something we're very much looking forward to. We have around 15,000 employees in over 100 countries. You may have seen us before, so I think this is our fifth appearance at a Gemini Call. We first pitched up in 2021 to present our methodology for how organisations could go about assuring digital twins. We then presented a couple of cutting edge, I would call, industry use cases with gas distribution network SGN, so a low carbon hydrogen production digital twin, along with a digital twin of the future gas network. And most recently in December, pitched up with National Gas to present the work that we were doing to test cyber physical infrastructure concepts at our Spade Adam test site. But why are we here today? So I've already mentioned we're here to launch a brand new report, Connected Digital Twin Insights. The premise of the report is really to examine how digital twins can support the UK's net zero objectives, really emphasising the critical role of industry collaboration and that of trust in ensuring that substantial contribution of digital twins to the energy transition can really be a key enabler as we strive for net zero by 2050. It includes interviews with regulators, with asset owners and operators and consultancies, and of course, government agencies. We aim to explore the opportunities, the benefits, the barriers, and of course, the risks, the counter to opportunity, if you like, that connected digital twins can really bring when deployed within the UK energy sector. And ultimately, we're looking to answer the question, the fundamental question, how can I trust my digital twin? So why did we write the report? I'm going to have to revert to my notes here to read this, or maybe look at the screen next to me. So we know that a vision exists of an energy transition enabled by a connected ecosystem of trustworthy digital twins. And really this vision encompasses production, supply, transportation, distribution, and consumption of energy. But we also know that the energy transition will bring unprecedented change. So with that comes whole systems thinking, really required to introduce that connected energy ecosystem. And now require improved collaboration between different vectors, ultimately to support the balancing of energy supply and energy demand. So for us, trust in the underlying complex digital systems is really paramount to enabling safe and sustainable operation in the future. So in our report, we convey insights obtained via successful energy sector use cases, digital twin use cases, and really showcasing how the learnings from those use cases can be used to build trust and show that digital twins are not just a novel experiment, but absolutely they can be used to drive future investment in digital twins and in CPI across the sector, and hopefully drive future adoption and, of course, ultimately the successful uptake of the technology. And then final slide for me, what were the three key themes that we explore throughout the report? So we touched upon all of these concepts with our interviewees, the first being technology. So with the country's annual capital expenditure expected to rise significantly on energy infrastructure moving forward, digitalisation could offer substantial cost-saving opportunities. That's something we explore. The second, of course, the energy transition. So how can the technology that we're looking at enable clean energy to be deployed through smarter management against the backdrop of volatility, unpredictability, and of course, increased complexity. And then finally, trust. So how do we reduce the uncertainty that currently exists in the sector today around the technology and the underpinning data that's required to ensure safe, successful, sustainable adoption of digital twins across the sector moving forward? So that's the premise, if you like, and I'll pass to my colleague Daniel to share some of the findings.
Thank you very much, Graham, and thanks everyone. Hello, my name is Daniel Gibson. I'm a senior consultant here at DNV. I'm just going to be presenting back some of the key findings and headlines from our report. So as Graham's already mentioned, we wanted to make sure that we spoke to a broad range of consultancies, regulators, asset owners, government figures, And we wanted to make sure that this report spanned both onshore gas, offshore oil and gas, electricity, renewables. We wanted the full energy ecosystem to take place. And the organisations we spoke to are listed on screen now. Our interviewees have revealed some key challenges from the energy sector, many of which will be known to people on the call and in the room. The energy system is undergoing unprecedented change, and solving cross-sector challenges is of paramount importance in driving net zero. And what this fundamentally means is that organisations must collaborate more than ever before. And in the energy sector, perhaps this hasn't been the case to date. We asked our interviewees their thoughts on how we can maximise the potential of connected digital twins. We asked for the benefits, the barriers, and also how we can leverage the potential. Whole systems modelling, understandably, was one of the key topics that came up, particularly in terms of addressing cross-sector resilience between energy speaking to gas, gas speaking to telecoms, for example, and also the ability to explore the full operational and design space of assets in a way that physical testing just couldn't feasibly cover. Some of the challenges that were revealed is the sheer volume of data and these unscalable data sharing methods, and also really the equal importance of technology and skills, which must be viewed as complementary. Our interviewees also spoke on the idea of a common language connecting these digital twins, which is a way of connecting them and overcoming some of these barriers. And fundamentally, it came back to trust, and there was several sort of stages of trust. And our interviewees revealed the success of digital twins will depend on complete trust in the technology. And this is composed of trust in the data, which is fed into the system and presented back to the user, trust in the underlying technology itself, trust in the change management processes, which make sure that everything is kept up to date, trust in cybersecurity, and then trust in the people and processes that will embed these technologies within organisations. And just to wrap up some of the key learnings that we've uncovered that our interviewees have revealed. Improvements in data sharing must precede the widespread adoption of digital twins. The main barriers lie within organisations' opposition to change. People must clearly understand the problem you're trying to solve. Cybersecurity isn't a new concern, but digital twins do offer a new attack point, and these must be addressed. Improved collaboration across the energy sector and different sectors is critical. Connected digital twins must have trust at the core, and governance and strategies, along with assurance, can provide the frameworks in achieving this trust. And with that, I'd like to thank you all for listening. You may have noticed the subliminal messages urging you to download the report in each slide, and I'd just like to encourage you, if you'd like to know more, to please download it. And I'm also free to answer any questions either via Slido or after the event. Please get in touch. Thank you.
Brilliant. So Dan, our first question's for you and DNV. What do you think, or who do you think the key parties are who will be paying for the solutions that will support the new energy sector?
That's a nice, easy question just to start off, isn't it? I think it's not something we've touched upon in the report, but if I can just offer a more sort of DNV answer. I mean, it's no secret that there's going to be an enormous amount of investment in the energy system and the energy sector going forward. For this, I would direct people to my DNV colleagues, and specifically our Energy Transition Outlook report, which is published every year in 2024. But what I would say is I think that there's going to be a substantial amount of government investment in new grid infrastructure and also new digital infrastructure in the coming years.
Our next question here, please, Daniel, is for yourself. It says, have you done any work on the sociology side of digital twins to learn what kind of real world impacts they're having on people's lives?
The short answer is no, but actually it's a fantastic idea for a piece of work. What we've tried to do in the report by asking each of our interviewees is ask them for some sort of notable flagship use cases. And we've spotlighted those in the report and gone into some detail on those in the report. So I'd urge people maybe to dive into those use cases in particular to try and look to see if this piece of work is done. But I actually think it's a fantastic idea for a project, a piece of work, a study to start to understand just how the impact that these digital twins are having, and also to try and quantify the benefits.
Thank you, Daniel. A socio-technical problem of digital twins. So the link that someone requested has been shared there. It's also been pasted in the chat to the DNV report. But I've got two questions now to come to you, Daniel, if that's okay. The first part is, what are the best practices for fostering effective collaboration within the digital ecosystem? And I'm going to follow this up with, what challenges may arise when scaling digital twins across multiple sites?
Yes, for best practices, there's a quote from a report from one of our interviewees, I believe it was Nick Granger at the NSTA, who made a point about how we should move to a culture of being open first, sharing information first, and having that as being the sort of organisational mindset. And I think that mindset and its adoption across the energy system is going to be what's largely responsible for that effective collaboration. As for what challenges might arise when scaling these digital twins, I think that there's a couple of challenges I would point to. One is cyber, which I probably don't have to dwell into in much detail. There's been many recent sort of news articles and the growing importance of cybersecurity considerations. But also a challenge might be that technology is introduced and just falls by the wayside. It isn't adopted. It just becomes a fancy new dashboard, which will be used for a week, 1 or 2 weeks, and then abandoned. And I think that challenge of making sure that technology is wholly embedded into organisations is going to be one which has to be addressed in the coming years.